Hello, everyone, and welcome to Draper Exposes, where we don't expose anything except for that John is a dumbass. So, thank you for watching. Today, we'll be going over the history of WATP versus Stuttering John. This is an audio-only video on YouTube, unfortunately, because it's from the very beginning, around 2018, 2019. So, there wasn't a ton of video clips with WATP, so unfortunately this is just an audio version. Hope that doesn't discourage anybody from watching. Still is very funny. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. To all the people who bought a membership, thank you guys so much. Continue the support. If you haven't bought a membership and you're interested in getting one, please get one. It's relatively cheap. And also, if you want to check out the Patreon, please head over there. We'll be adding more content pretty soon. And thank you guys all, and enjoy.
Hey, man, don't you think it's funny that the guy that coined the frame, coined the phrase jump the shark, now works for the show that jumped the shark? Come on, Shuli. Shuli, what are you more afraid of? Like walking down Howard's hallway or watching Baba Booey eat shrimp? I'm just curious. Shuli, come on, talk to me. I'm your buddy. What, have you been told not to talk to me?
I get security to get this guy away from me.
No, you can't get security. Can you get security? Shuli, you want to get security from me?
WATP, WATP, WATP. Who are these podcasts? WATP. Who likes these podcasts? Not WATP. Who makes these podcasts? That one's beyond me. Who are these podcasts? WATP.
WATP.
WATP, everybody.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts? The only podcast that contains more Michael Rappaport drops than it does original content.
You're not charismatic.
I'd like to welcome our guest host today. Kevin is back.
Hello, everyone. Hello, out there in Podcastville.
You can visit us at whoarethese.com, our Facebook page, or on Twitter at whoarethesepod. Email the show, WATPshow@gmail.com. We're always looking for podcast suggestions. Also, we encourage our listeners to give us a 5-star review on iTunes, but then in the comment section, you can shit all over us. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Today, we'll be reviewing a podcast called the Stuttering John Podcast. This was a suggestion from multiple listeners who asked us to review this show. Kevin and I have both listened to it separately. We have not discussed it beforehand. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stuttering John show. What'd you think, Kevin?
Well, Stuttering John is a guy I haven't really thought about in a lot of years.
Right.
Being a long Stern Show listener, he left a long time ago, and I never really quite paid attention to what he was doing. But this show, in a nutshell, is just him. It's just bad feelings from him, like for whatever, an hour and a half.
All right, I'm going to set this up. I want to, if there's people out there who don't know why Stuttering John is a thing, I'm just going to go real quick through what that is, starting off with classic Stuttering John. When he was on the Howard Stern show, he was the guy who they would send off to the red carpet events and different things to interview celebrities and ask ridiculous questions. One of my favorite moments of all time is this. Here's the setup.
I have maybe the greatest piece of tape you'll ever hear.
Oh, are we talking about the Ringo Starr press conference?
Did you hear any of it?
No, I've only heard what they had on the news.
There was a huge press conference yesterday for Ringo Starr and Joe Walsh and stuff. And Stuttering John, I heard a majority of the press conference. And Stuttering John asked 2 questions, and it was real funny.
Uh-huh.
And I went home, and I didn't know, and none of us knew, but we rolled tape on it anyway. John got to a 3rd question.
All right, so that sounds like shit, but they're talking about the fact that he was at the Ringo Starr press conference. This has to be in the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah.
So this is when Stuttering John was full-time with Howard Stern. You hear Jackie laughing, and this is going old school. This is his greatest accomplishment, Stuttering John's greatest accomplishment of all time, talking to Ringo Starr.
Yeah, all right, it's kind of a fun question. What did you do with the money?
What money?
Are the money that your mom gave you for singing lessons?
Oh, this is the worst.
That's one of the greatest jokes of all time. So funny. So that's what Stuttering John was known for. He would go out and ask ridiculous questions. He'd go up to celebrities and say, who are you and why are you famous? Which pisses people off to no end when you're a celebrity. Eventually, though, people would recognize him. They'd know it was Stuttering John from Howard Stern, and he wasn't able to get into these events. They wouldn't accept his press credentials. So he just became a bit character on the show that really didn't have a role on the show for Howard Stern, other than he was just kind of a guy in the back office who would rip on Gary or just bring shit up that he heard from Scott the engineer and come into the studio and mix things up. And then, obviously he was fodder for all of the people on the show, but he didn't really have anything going on.
We should probably qualify it that he used to stutter. That was like...
Well, you heard it in that
reason.
clip. Yes, he was definitely a nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
He was not comfortable talking to celebrities and asking them ridiculous questions. He stayed around on Howard Stern's show for a while, and then eventually he got his big break, quote unquote. Jay Leno hired him to be the announcer for The Tonight Show. I have just some quick clips just to bring us back. He did audition tapes using Scott the engineer at Howard Stern, so of course they saved these tapes to play them later on the show. And this is the Stern cast going back and listening to this guy's audition tapes to be an announcer for The Tonight Show. I mean, that's a ridiculous job for a stutterer. But and he definitely did not deserve it. Listen to this.
It's The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and The Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford, the music of Stained. And I f***ed it up. I didn't want to do the same. Is that too over the top?
So this is him auditioning for this job with Jay Leno. You heard him pronounce Pamela Anderson's name wrong.
Pamela Anderson.
They keep playing that part over and over again, and Artie's just losing his shit.
Tonight, Jay welcomes Pamela Anderson, Harrison Ford,
every time.
The music of Stained, and I f***ing f***ed it up. Give me a band, Scott. Yeah, I already did Simon Garfunkel.
You can't think of a
Simon
band?
Garfunkel.
So my favorite clip from when they were goofing on his auditions is when he tries to say Nicolas Cage. Do you remember this, Kevin?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Well, one more clip and then we'll get into his podcast.
And me, I'm Stuttering John. Tonight, Jay welcomes Nicolas Cage, Kate Hudson, and comedian Greg Giraldo. And now, Jay Leno!
Yeah, John, listen, I got your tape.
How did Greg Giraldo get on my show?
Listen, you
can't say the nigger word.
You said the N-word in your tape.
You said nigger.
Listen, John, I got the joke tape. That was very funny.
Yeah, now can you do a real
Maybe
noun?
that's what he meant by over the top.
John, do you think you could say Nicholas?
Nig. What?
That's better.
Why don't you just go, and my cunt!
Sound it out.
Ne.
All right, so that's the Artie era of Stern when it was good, and those guys having some fun with that. All right, so that sets it up. That's who Stuttering John is. Stuttering John went to The Tonight Show. Jay Leno obviously is no longer on the show. The whole staff is gone, and John, being a talentless hack, was left with nothing to do. And now he just started a podcast where it's him talking to his iPhone for 50 minutes. And that's all it is.
Yeah, it's a very hard listen because there's only what 6 episodes so far.
Yeah,
and you could tell he's learning as he goes because I was looking at their the web page for the show and they're all like named incorrectly.
Right, there's no consistency at all. This one was episode 4, but there was another episode that was called episode 4. They have no idea what they're doing. They keep changing the name of the podcast. I think it's called the Stuttering John Podcast, but I don't even know. Do you have a clip that you want to play that maybe sums up the show for people so we can finally get into it?
You could start out. Yeah, just start out with clip 1.
Okay.
Because this is like right off the bat. Like if you're gonna broadcast or whatever, I'd use that in air quotes. But if you're gonna talk on a microphone and make a show out of it, clear your fucking throat before you do so.
Welcome to the Stuttering John Podcast. How are you, my friends?
That's the first thing he says. You could easily go back and fix that. Like, all right, let me start that again.
It sounds like the goldfish from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Those goldfish are like, oh. All right, Pee-wee.
All right, I actually have the same clip, but I go a little bit further because I want to point something out.
Welcome to the Stuttering John Podcast. How are you, my friends? That's right, I'm trying to get on a daily schedule. Every Tuesday, I will record my podcast, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Every Tuesday, he's going to record his podcast. That's not a daily schedule. That's a weekly schedule.
That's called weekly. Yeah.
That's called weekly. Every Tuesday. Holy shit.
Every Tuesday, I'll talk about Pamela Anderson and
Nicolas Cage. He talks about. That's the other thing about this show, Kevin, is that the reason why Stuttering John was even employed by Howard is because he had a stutter.
Right.
He doesn't stutter. So what's the fucking point? He's just a boring person talking to his iPhone. Exactly. He starts off the show plugging the book that he's writing, or maybe he's already written it, or I don't know. But he talks about this chapter in his book. It's about, of course, Howard Stern, because what do you want to read about from Stuttering John? Not the boring people in his life, the celebrities that he knows. And I just don't think this is a good way to promote a book that you want people to buy.
I was doing my chapter on Howie's single life. Talking about when about how we first found out about Howard's divorce and then the girls he had after. There's stuff in there I'm probably going to have to take out because I'm going to get sued, but it's true.
So, all right, I have this whole chapter about that period of time when Howard was single, where he was having all these girls like, oh, okay, I want to know who those girls were and what was going on. And I'll probably have to take it all out. Okay, and then why would I buy your book?
Well, exactly.
What kind of selling point is that?
So many fucking people are writing books now. Like, he talks a lot about that. Like, everyone's got a goddamn book coming out. Fucking Casey Armstrong
has a book coming out. Yeah, I know. I have some shit about that. He talks about, he's pissed at everyone. He's pissed at Artie Lang, very pissed at Artie Lang. Yeah. He's pissed at Anthony Cumia. He's been on Anthony's show a few times. He was on, I think, with Artie and Anthony. But this I thought was interesting. He's talking about how Anthony Cumia is writing a book, and he's goofing on the fact that Anthony would write a book.
Anthony's coming out with a book, I see. What is it called? Instead of Moby Dick, just call it Dick. I mean, because and I don't even know. I don't know. Is he that popular? I mean, I'm not saying I am, but at least I was on a national show for fucking 15 years. I mean, isn't he just a local? I mean, wasn't he a local DJ? I think he might have been on 2 or 3 markets, maybe New York and Boston, maybe Philly. I don't know.
Whoa. This is Stuttering John saying Anthony Cumia isn't famous enough to write a book. It's Anthony from the Opie and Anthony show. It wasn't Howard and Stuttering John. He was a fucking bit character on Howard Stern show. And he goes, oh, wasn't he a local DJ who was in those 3 markets? He was on XM radio, you fucking idiot. Sirius XM. Do you know what satellite radio? Do you know who gets satellite radio? Everyone. Everyone who subscribes to it. The fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, I don't. He does a lot of that where he kind of tries to put himself kind of above. Like he's putting down everybody, and then he's like, "Yeah, but I love you, and it's really weird to me because at some point, and I don't know if this is just because whatever he's from fucking Staten Island or Long Island or whatever, but he sounds like Dice.
Staten Island or Long Island or one of those islands,
one of those fucking islands,
Jekyll Island, one of those
Manhattan.
islands, right?
Yeah. No, but he sounds like Dice,
right?
You know how like he's got like, and I'm trying to figure out if he's doing it on purpose, or if that's just how he fucking talks now. But God, I have a lot of clips. For me, I have a lot of fucking clips.
You do.
Yeah, he's got play number 2. This is just him kind of, I don't know, talking more about like how people are putting him down.
Okay.
You say I'd be nothing without Howard. Now, that may be true. I mean, he gave me my start.
Okay. So he's got this thing he needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
His entire podcast is devoted to proving his own worth because he was hired as this dummy who stutters. That's why he's famous. And unfortunately, Jay Leno hired him for a job he wasn't qualified for, and now he's delusional.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Dude, he is so delusional. And I'm sure you and I have very similar clips that go through him proving to the world that he deserves to be famous and that he's very talented.
Yeah, God. Yeah, so if you play my track 3, he does a lot of name dropping, which then he calls out other people for name dropping, which is fucking hilarious to me.
Okay, all right.
They don't know that I write jokes. I've written for Jay Leno for 10 years. I've written for, I was the head writer of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast.
Yeah, I have that one too. I love how far that drops off. I wrote for Jay Leno. I was a writer for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast. Like that went down quick.
Yeah, I have a clip here. It's called Depression Scale. If you start, it's number 10, and it goes through. It's really funny, like the highs to the bottom fucking lows of his career.
Because I went through depression. After you come off the Stern Show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, the Tonight Show, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast, the Stephanie Miller Show, Bite Size TV. You're on all these shows, and then suddenly, like you're not working, you get depressed.
Yeah, I would bet. I would bet you fucking crash back to earth and realize you're a nobody who has no talent. Yeah, it's got to be tough.
It's the sharpest drop off since fucking Bitcoin. It just like, it just fucking plummets.
I want to go back real quick to what he was talking about, how he was a joke writer. He throws out there that he wrote jokes for Jay Leno and Jeff Ross and the head writer for this roast. And was there any evidence during this show, and we listened to 50 minutes of him talk, was there any evidence that he can write a joke, Kevin?
Oh, no. I mean, it's case in point of when he was talking about Anthony, and he goes, yeah, you got to write a joke, write a book, just call it Moby Dick. Don't call it Moby Dick, call it Dick. It's
right. So that was an attempt at a joke. Here I have, this is at the very end of his show. This is his big joke in the show, and it is such a fucking hack joke.
I mean, I got a tweet the other day saying, this woman was like, you're an asshole, you suck, I've always hated you. And that was from my mother. And
so he realized he didn't set it up right, so he had to go back. He's like, this guy's like, oh, no, okay, I got it, all right. This woman says, you suck, I hate you. And I was like, come on, Mom, right? Like, everyone's done that joke. That's not a good joke. And actually, I want to go back to him talking about Anthony Cumia's book, because he talks about what the tentative book title is, and then he's ready to riff. He is going to crush it.
What is it, fucking permanently suspended? I don't know. There's so many I could do. I don't want to get him too upset, though.
Epic fail.
I love that he goes, oh, yeah, the name is permanently suspended. So it was like a chip moment. Okay, what's the joke? What do you got? He goes, I don't want to piss him off. I got so many things I could say, but I'm not going to do it. Just one, John. Just give us one joke.
Give us a joke.
Give us a joke that maybe is funny and nothing. And it's not like he didn't have time to prepare for this shit. What else is he doing in his life besides recording this podcast?
He's reliving his fucking glory days, because I have a few clips here when he kind of he walks back. Now he's bitching about Artie. And, like quite.
I'm so glad you said that, Kevin. I am so ready for that. That's all I have is Glory Days clips. That's what this entire show is about. He just talks about back when he was famous and people gave a shit about it. All right, what do you got?
This isn't even famous. This is just all right. Play track 4. This is kind of sets it up. I guess.
Oh yeah, this is great.
I mean, you never really know. I mean, I was getting A's in all my films at NYU, probably the most prestigious film university in America. Some might argue UCLA, some might argue USC, but
yeah, I had that clip too, and I wrote down proof that he would have made it without Howard Stern, because he's talking about the fact that people think I'm just famous because Howard Stern brought me on as Stuttering John, but I was getting A's in college. Like, what is that? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What the fuck are you talking about? Here's him explaining that he does have talent.
I know it's hard for some Stern fans to swallow, to think that maybe I do have talent, but I do. I'm sorry.
No, you are sorry. You don't. After he explains that he does have talent, because he has to prove himself, right? He goes into these fucking stories that are mind-boggling, and he's not joking. This is real.
And the truth is, I started out like we all did in our elementary school, playing the recorder, which is like the fucking flute. And then I moved on to trumpet, where I became an all-district trumpet player. In second grade, I was playing with the 5th and 6th graders. I learned how to read music in second grade.
He's going back to second grade because Artie Lang said he wasn't a musician. So he goes back and he goes, oh, really, Artie? I'm not a musician? I was playing trumpet with 5th graders when I was in second grade. What?
Oh, yeah. There's also this gem, too. Play track 5.
Okay.
And then, I was in chorus in all district. I had a solo every year.
He had a solo every year. I mean, come on.
I had a friend was a big baseball player back in high school.
All right, it doesn't stop there, Kevin. He then talks about the how he's great at comedy. So we all know he's an amazing musician. He played trumpet and read music when he's in second grade. But what about his comedy chops? He's known for being the stand-up comedian now. And he says, well, obviously I have comedy chops.
And it's just, for him to say something like that. And, I was never a comedian. Well, Artie, I was making comedy films as soon as I got my first Super 8mm camera when I was in freaking 4th grade. And, I wrote my first sketch in junior high in 6th grade. And we got an A on it. It was called The Smothered Brother.
Did Stuttering John just brag about an A he got in 6th grade?
He sure did.
And he was telling Artie Lang that Artie Lang is wrong about how funny he is. Like, just so you know, Artie, you might think you know comedy. My teacher in 6th grade gave me an A on a film I made.
Glory days.
This guy fucking nuts. What the fuck is wrong?
I made a movie called The Smothered Brother, Glory Days.
So then he goes on to talk about his acting. And apparently, when he was in 1st grade, he was the best actor. You would think that I'm making up this setup. But listen to this shit. And he's being serious.
I was never an actor. I was a star of the show in the little carrot seat. I know it sounds crazy. Why am I defending myself? But in 1st grade, and it got aired on public television. They liked it so much, they put it on TV. And I was in 1st grade, and I knew all the lines. I would give the other actors their lines in case they forgot while we were on stage.
This is insane. Kevin, I don't remember anything I did in 1st grade. Nothing I did in first grade was important or meaningful. Nothing I did in any of my fucking life is important or meaningful, but especially not first grade.
I was a regular Shirley Temple.
Yeah, I know that's the picture this guy's painting. We are on TV. Public access is not TV. Anyone can put anything on public access. I was picturing that conversation where he's explaining to Artie Lang, who has been in dozens of huge movies, that he's an actor because in first grade he knew everyone's lines. And I was just imagining, Kevin, what would it be like if Artie was in the room, maybe Artie and Robin Quivers, and they were having this conversation? How would they respond to that?
Why am I defending myself? But in first grade, and it got aired on public television. They liked it so much. They put it on TV.
I'm sorry,
What a fucking idiot Stuttering John is. It's unbelievable.
That's a great drop. That should be on everything that we say too.
Well, I could literally picture him having that argument against Artie Lang, because I think Artie went through the same thing with Sale the Stockbroker, when Sale was trying to pretend that he was a talented comedian. It's like, what are you, fucking an idiot? You're a nobody.
Yeah, he does this, like, well, I mean, we've been talking about it, this fucking name dropping thing. So he calls Artie out for name dropping, which is, I have his track 07.
And then, I don't know, Norm McDonald and David Spade. I don't know, any other names you could drop there, Artie? And then Dan Filato, all the Gerdas in his life that keep Judd Apatow and Pete Holmes and I don't know, all his girders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's immediately followed up by his own take, which is track 8.
I don't know about, I was never a musician. Well, Joe Walsh didn't think that, Artie. I wrote a song with Joe Walsh. I played with Huey McDonald on my album. He was the bass player on my album. For most of the songs. And if you don't know who Huey McDonald is, he's the bass player for Bon Jovi now. Rolling Stone magazine seemed to think so, Artie, you fat snort.
Yeah, I know. What a fucking idiot. It's like Artie's always name dropping. Well, guess what? I hung out with Joe Walsh. Like, John, come on, man. Are you not? He's obviously not listening back to the show, but is he listening to himself while he's talking at all? Is he aware? And again, I want to point out this drop off. I wrote a song with Joe Walsh, and then he says, and this bass player from Bon Jovi was on my album. It's not even the bass player from Bon Jovi. Like, okay, that's you. It fell pretty far just now.
Yeah, even if it was the bass player from, I don't know anybody in Bon Jovi except Bon fucking Jovi. That's the guy I know in that band.
So this is how. Well, come on, Richie Sambora.
All right, okay. Glory days.
This is how he wraps this all up. He's having this long conversation about everything that he's accomplished over all of these different years. So here's the wrap up.
Who knows what I could have done? It could have been.
You would have been a nobody. I know exactly what you could have been. And now we find out why he needs to defend himself and why he has to prove himself and go back to all of these past successes that he's had in first grade and second grade.
But, I could take it with the best of them. Howard goofed to me. Fred goofed to me. Jackie goofed to me. Robin goofed to me. I took it. I took it for a while when Anthony and Artie were goofing on me. But at some point, you fucking got to say, shut the fuck up. Especially when kids are concerned. Especially when my career is concerned. When fucking Artie's main objective seems to discredit my comedy, which is the way I make a living right now.
No, it's not Artie who's discrediting your comedy. It's your comedy that discredits your comedy, John.
I wish you would have went one bar, or one bit further on that clip, because he says comedy, the way I make my living now, comedy, mostly pensions though. I'm like, pensions from what? From fucking The Tonight Show?
Yes, that's exactly right. I happen to know because I've seen John on Anthony Cumia's show, and he's talked about this after the fact. he was making like 80 grand a year working for Howard Stern, living in New York City, which is not a good salary. Right. And Jay Leno offered him like $500,000 a year. So he made the move, and he was making $500,000 a year, which he's lost to his ex-wife. But yeah, when you get that type of gig in Hollywood, you're pretty much set. He's got a pension going. He's going to be fine. But yeah, it's like, I make my living off of comedy. Well, mostly that job I didn't deserve is still paying me.
I didn't know that in sixth grade you wrote The Smothered Brother. I didn't know that was you.
Here's a clip that I have. It's from near the end of the episode. He just can't help himself to be boring. He talks about something that happened in high school that couldn't be less interesting.
You know, it's funny. When I was in high school, it was when Reagan was president, and I wrote on the desk like some shit trashing Ronald Reagan, and this guy wrote back to me on the same desk in pencil, you know, you're nothing but a bleeding heart liberal. And I wrote back to him, who the fuck is this? And he wrote back to me, Darryl LaMonica. I knew Darryl LaMonica. He was this fat bastard in like 9th grade. I think I was in 10th. So I said to him, well, I'm Frank Fee. I picked the biggest bully, the tallest, biggest guy that I could think of. I'm Frank Fee, and I'm going to kick your ass. Darryl LaMonica never wrote on that desk again.
That's fascinating. Please go on.
What the fuck kind of story was that?
How big is this desk that you're writing fucking sentences on it?
All right. I do want to play you this compilation that is the accomplishment compilation. This is all the shit. Actually, it's not even all the shit, but this is just a quick comp of the things that Stuttering John has done that proves that he's a worthful, meaningful person that we should all be very impressed with.
You know, I play pretty good fucking lead guitar on my album if you fucking heard it. Rolling Stone magazine seemed to think so hard of you fat snort. I had my class 3. I had to take a road test in a freaking 26, 30-foot truck where I had to parallel park in that bitch. And I was getting A's in all my films at NYU. As far as I'm concerned, I think Mike Boschetti is funny as shit. You know, I've written some jokes for Mike. I was in chorus in All District. I had a solo every year. You know, after you come off the Stern Show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, The Tonight Show, you know, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Roast, the Stephanie Miller Show, Bite Size TV. You're on all these shows. I would write sketches, and I got to direct the likes of Quentin Tarantino. I became an All District trumpet player. But I got to direct Jamie Lee Curtis and Jack Black and Adam Sandler and David Spade. I learned how to read music in 2nd grade. A bunch with Kim Kardashian, a bunch with Charlie Sheen. I mean, I got to write and direct so many stars. Sofia Vergara, Hugh Laurie, Terry Bradshaw, like 3 or 4 of them. Phil Jackson. Yes, I wrote a lot of jokes for Howard, but, you know, I killed it on Anthony. And all the producers and directors and staff there always told me how well I did. Keith himself and Anthony himself.
Holy shit, I'm sorry about the length of that. It is all over the place. Could you imagine if you did a show where all you do is talk about everything you've ever accomplished? This is kind of like Bobo from Howard Stern talking about the spelling bee that he won and the grades he used to get when he was... Like, is Stuttering John now fucking Bobo? Do you remember Casey on the show? What was his thing? He was like a good-looking guy who worked out a lot.
He was a good-looking guy that they kept on claiming they thought he was gay.
Casey was such a bit character on that show. Yeah. He wasn't an important guy. So this is John, right after he talks about how Anthony Cumia should not be writing a joke. Anthony from Opie and Anthony, or should not be writing a book, I should say. He says this.
And lastly, what's Casey Armstrong up to? Apparently Casey's got a book coming out. I forget what it's called, like Amazing People or whatever, but he's got a book coming out, so God bless him.
All right, so God bless Casey because he's writing a book. I listen to Howard Stern every single day. I could give 3 flying fucks about Casey Armstrong's book. There's no way I would possibly want to read that.
Well, by that definition, you should write a book because you've listened to Howard Stern's show before.
All right. I got one more clip on here that is, again, an example of this amazing joke writer who's written jokes for all the greats.
The 2 strokes happened because of I had my cholesterol was through the roof. It was probably higher than Artie's weight, and that's hard to beat. But
he is so pissed at Artie. And Artie Lang is on his deathbed at this point. Have you seen Artie Lang's nose recently?
And, that's kind of my opinion of Leno anyway, but people were like, oh, he's edgier in his stand up or whatever, and this was kind of a milquetoast way of doing shit on TV and stuff. But I don't know. Not that I'm a huge fan of Fallon or anything either, because I don't really think that it's ever really been that great of a show. I'm talking about the Tonight Show particularly, but I would never claim that I was like this star writer on the Tonight Show, because it's not generally known as like the biggest fucking, it's not the Carol Burnett show, a fucking late night show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, again, John Melendez is a talentless hack who, for him, that's an amazing accomplishment. He overachieved in life. It's wildly impressive that this stuttering buffoon was able to be this big character on Howard Stern's show and then an announcer on The Tonight Show. It's remarkable. But the sad thing is that it's left him delusional and bitter. And that's what's sad about this whole thing. That's why it's depressing to listen to his show. Because you listen to it and you go, oh, this is a guy who thinks highly of himself. And he shouldn't.
But all we kept talking about is glory days.
Well, feel free to cut a lot of that out. I was, I don't know, off topic on half of what I was talking about. But
not more than usual.
Yeah, hopefully there's some salvageable stuff.
I think so. What else did I... Oh, I had this clip that we didn't get to.
That's the one bad thing about being famous for something, especially something as cultish as the Stuttering John thing was. You do get pigeonholed, typecast into that role, and that's the one downside. So
I love that he thinks he's pigeonholed because of the character he played on Stern, not because he has no talent.
Right.
The thing that pigeonholes you is your lack of talent or resourcefulness.
Pigeonholed.
They'll pass you by, pigeonholed.
Like Anthony could say, my stand-up wasn't funny or whatever, even though he's laughing his ass off. And my brother knows his laugh because he was a Opie and Anthony fan, and I saw Anthony laughing his ass off. It's just such a lie.
Is that fucking hilarious? He goes, Anthony came to my stand-up show, and my brother heard him laughing, and I saw him laughing. Like, okay, whatever. How bad has this gotten for you in life that you have to prove that Anthony Cumia laughed at a joke you told while you were on stage? I had a few people tweeting our show at him.
Oh, good.
One of them being a comedian named Gino Bisconti, and Gino has been harassing the shit out of John, and this is the setup to that.
I'm in the DMV. I'm sitting in the DMV, and I get this.
By the way, listen to how fucking great this show sounds. I know our show is not crystal clear, but this guy, once again, talking into his fucking iPhone. He's just the worst broadcaster.
I get this, I guess there's a podcast that rates other podcast rights.
Okay.
And I don't know what the name of it is, but I guess they said our podcast sucked. And Opie from Opie and Anthony sucked. It seems like they're on Anthony Cumia's side, and they have a horse in the race. But they just trash my podcast. And for some reason, I get a tech or a tweet from Gino Bisconti. Now I don't even know who it is.
All right, so that's him setting up the show. Apparently, we don't like him or Opie because we're on Anthony Cumia's side.
Because that makes sense.
That makes sense. We have 111 episodes of us shitting on podcasts, and just Anthony's telling me which shows to review every fucking time. But this is right after that. He starts talking about how we were saying that he's untalented.
That podcast that rates other podcasts called me untalented, right? And Gino's like, you're untalented. Right. Here's the thing, fuck. And from now on, we'll call Gino just a new nickname, Nobody, because the guy's a nobody. Even his parents think he's a nobody. Okay? He has no fame whatsoever.
Good one, John.
But to call me talentless or untalented, now I'm not saying I'm as talented as Jay Leno or Howard Stern or any of these guys.
Okay. So he's not saying he's as talented as Howard Stern. So what is he saying? I can't fucking write this shit. Crozier, he once again goes into his goddamn resume to prove that he's talented.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I have a certain amount of talent. If you could be on the Stern Show for 15 years, Howard behind the scenes said how funny I was on the show. I made millions of people laugh at my interviews. I'm not trying to, but seriously, goofing on Gary's teeth and Jackie. I've made people laugh. I wrote for Howard for 15 years, and then I get hired on the Tonight Show, and I write for Jay Leno for 10 years.
This fucking guy! He's explaining that Howard Stern once told him behind the scenes that he thought he was funny. You were his employee. I fucking blow smoke up people's ass all day long. That's how you motivate people to do good work, you fucking dumbass. God. Yeah, these guys say I'm not talented. Howard said I was funny.
Off the air.
Off the air once.
Yeah, one time after the show.
Fucking idiot.
When I was reading the questions that Fred wrote.
You think I'm not talented? I was goofing on Gary. You were goofing on Gary. You think that makes you fucking talented? Gary threw a pitch once that hit somebody behind third base. It's very easy to goof on Gary. I don't understand this thing with Stuttering John saying that I worked at Howard Stern's show. Do you know the fucking idiots who work on Howard Stern's show?
Well, he was an
fucking Sal the stockbroker works on Howard Stern's show. It doesn't mean you're talented to have worked on Howard Stern's show.
Oh, he was an unpaid intern for years at that show.
Right.
And then when he did get a job, his job was to get Howard's baked potato, I think, right?
Well, obviously, the thing that put him on the map was the fact that he was a stuttering fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And so they're like, why don't we put him in a scenario where he'll stutter more?
Yeah.
Where he'll be nervous.
And he'll read the questions that Fred and Jackie write.
Correct. And he even admitted that on his show. He didn't write any of these questions. So listen to this. On this episode, the last one we reviewed, John was by himself. This one, he's got a yes man or two along with him.
Oh, good.
So he's going on and on. He continues to brag. And then a yes man comes into the picture.
I get paid a hell of a lot of money. Got 2 pensions out of the whole thing. I write for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast and a few other shows after that. Now, you have to have a certain amount of talent to do that. Wouldn't you agree, Royce?
Of course, but let's not forget that what you did in the 90s paved the way for so many other people.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, this gets so much better. This gets so much better.
Whoa.
Because you think that you're just going, okay, Stuttering John's rehashing once again that he was on fucking Howard Stern and Jay Leno. You're like, okay, we get it. He cannot pronounce Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's fucking name to save his goddamn life. You wrote on his roast? You can't even pronounce his fucking name, you talentless hack. So he's going on, and then this guy chirps up and he's like, but let's also remember that you paved the way.
Oh,
okay.
Paved the way.
Did you know that Stuttering John invented an entire genre of comedy?
Is that so?
I bet you couldn't even guess the names that they're about to fucking
drop.
Dude, wait until you hear this fucking part. This is amazing.
You created a genre. People started emulating your ambush interviews.
Yeah, and yeah, we've spoken about this, but besides Ali G, who essentially did the same thing, and Between Two Ferns is totally my shtick.
What?
But the worst is Triumph the Insult.
What? Are you fucking high?
He just took credit for Zach Galifianakis. Is he fucking retarded? Well, he is retarded.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who was told, go to this red carpet, ask this celebrity these questions, and now he's taking credit for Between Two Ferns, Ali G show, which, by the way, that fucking guy is brilliant.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen. And then also talking about Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, and I'm not going to play this for you, but they go on and on to bash Robert Smigel.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, wow.
So
That's
that was
incredible.
That was incredible. That was amazing. Later on in the show, and I think you were alluding to this earlier, there was news that broke out that a comedian prank called our president, President Trump.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that news is not true. It was actually Stuttering John who did it. Stuttering John on his podcast gets through to President Trump on Air Force One, and they have a phone conversation. This is a true story. This just happened.
Wow.
Okay? So I'm going to play this for you because he talked about our show earlier on, so it's related, right?
Yeah, of course,
why not?
yeah.
All right, I'm going to play you some clips. They're pretty much everything you need to hear about this call. This is the setup here. John is pretending to be a senator, Senator Bob Menendez, who is a Hispanic gentleman. And it took him a while to get through, but he got through whatever he had to get through to get to President Trump. And this is actually real audio. It sounds like crap, but it's Trump taking the call from Stuttering John.
Congratulations. Great job. You went through a tough situation, and I don't think a very fair situation, but congratulations.
Thank you so much. And, I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. President, but obviously my constituents are giving me a lot of beef about this immigration thing. I know that you did something really noble, by trying to, get the kids back with their families, but I have to answer to them. What can I tell them that you're going to do, moving forward?
All right, so this is
what a hilarious prank.
Yeah, this is John. So okay, but hold on a second. Bear with me. John has gotten through to the president, and he's trying to convince him that he's this Senator Bob Menendez.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the setup here.
So he gets a prank call through to the president of the United States, and he records it on a fucking Radio Shack tape recorder? I mean, that sounds like dog shit.
It's the worst sounding thing you've ever heard.
Oh, my God.
In his defense, Trump is in an airplane.
Okay.
So there could be other factors involved besides his shitty equipment, which obviously Stuttering John has shitty equipment. 2 pensions, but he can't fucking afford a good computer. I don't know why.
It sounds like an iPhone recording another iPhone on speakerphone. I mean, it's got to be, right? It sounds like shit.
Okay, so it's going to sound like shit for a while. But what he says is, I'm Bob Menendez, and then he doesn't sound anything like a senator.
Of course, yeah.
You did a great job, but so he's talking about this whole immigration issue that we're having in this country, and I'm just going to pick up on part 2 of that. This is where John sounds even less like a senator of the United States.
They've got to have security at the border, and that's a good issue for the Democrats too, Bob. It's not like it's good for you or good for me. It's good for both of us. People are tired of the problem.
No, I understand that, but but I am Hispanic, so I have to. I'm sure you understand. So I have to. I have to look good to my. I have to look good to my people as well. You understand?
In the first one, at least he says constituents.
Yeah.
In this one, he can't think of the word.
Yeah.
I have to look good to my people.
Wow.
Does that sound like a senator?
Good Lord.
There's 2 from each state.
Yeah.
The 2.
It barely.
That's
sounds like
one of them.
It barely sounds like an adult human being.
Right. Let alone a fucking senator. Obviously, at this point, Trump realizes this conversation is going nowhere, and he tries to get off the phone.
I agree. So, Bob, let me do this. I'm on Air Force One. I'm just coming back. We had an amazing rally in North Dakota, actually.
Yeah, I saw the speech. I saw the speech.
It's going to be good. It's a tough race. You say it again?
No, I saw the speech, and I thought it was a great speech, but...
Okay. So, again, he's kind of kissing his ass a little bit, trying to keep him on the line. I get it. You have this awesome opportunity. You're talking to Trump. You're recording it. This is him winding up for the big joke.
Oh,
all right. So he's able to fucking reel him in. He's got him on the line, pulling it up, and here we go, ready to fucking hit it.
If I could just ask you one more thing, Mr. President.
If I could just ask you one more thing, Mr. President, right?
Okay.
He knows that Trump's trying to get off the call. So here we go. This is your last chance.
As far as the new justice, I'm sure you've heard, I'm sure you know that Justice Kennedy is retiring. And, Justice Kennedy was a Reagan appointee. I'm begging you, are you going to go more moderate, or do you think you're going to go more conservative?
Wow. Is he just trying to sound smart? What the fuck was that?
That was
I literally
awful.
expected him to have a joke and to say something ridiculous. Instead, he goes, with your new appointee to the Supreme Court, are you planning on going more moderate or more conservative? Actually, he doesn't even say it that
Yeah.
way. He says, I'm begging you, are you going to go more moderate or more conservative? What does begging you have to do with that? It's a yes or it's a one or the other question.
Oh my God.
Can you fucking believe this guy? He calls himself a comedian. He says he's a fucking joke writer. This was his fucking prank call with Trump.
Yeah. The one thing people might know his podcast for because it's been in the news.
He literally thought that he was a correspondent for CNN. He's asking him legitimate questions.
Yeah, trying
about
to.
about what's really going on in the world right now. How fucking boring is this? All right, so bear with me. This is where Trump realizes this guy's a fucking idiot.
And we're going to make a decision. I'll probably make it over the next couple of weeks.
Because I promise you will have my vote. I will help you if you don't go too conservative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you hear the way Trump went, yeah. At that point, he realized he's either talking to the dumbest dummy or it's a prank call. Because he just goes, yeah. What the fuck are we doing? All right, keep going here.
Well, we will talk to you about it. We're going to probably make a decision, Bob, over the next 2 weeks. I think we're going to have a really good. We have some great choices, and be done over the next 12 to 14 days.
All right. Well, please, keep me informed, and good luck on your trip. And thank you so much for taking my call.
You take care. I will speak to you soon, Bob. Take care of yourself.
All right. Thanks, Mr. President.
Wow.
Thank you, Bob. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye, Cambodia.
What?
Holy shit. That was the entire call. I didn't take very much out of that at all. I wanted everyone to hear this amazing feat that Stuttering John accomplished, literally wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, that was
such a waste of fucking time. He had a normal conversation. Well, he tried to have a normal conversation with the president. Outrageous! I can't wait for his new show to come out.
Wow.
I'm going to go up to celebrities and ask them questions that are actually normal. And it make me seem like I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Neat! I can't wait for it.
Holy fuck.
So you would think that after that fucking disaster of a prank call, you would not be patting yourself on the back. But guess what? This guy is very proud of himself. Listen to, this is immediately after that on his podcast. I didn't cut anything in between what you just heard and this next clip. This is how excited they are about what just happened.
And then to get the Baba Booey in at the end?
I know. Baba Booey to you. How the hell... now we're going to put the real... we'll put a better quality audio in there. But now, first of all, Royce, here's the thing. I don't even know what the fuck he's congratulating me for. Apparently I got out of some crime.
Fraud charges.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just kind of rolling with it.
Oof. John thinks he's rolling with it. Oof. John thought that he was playing that so cool. He was convincing the president that he was actually Senator Bob Menendez. As he's going, my people. He wasn't fucking fooled, dummy. And then he's taking credit for the fact that he said Baba Booey at the end.
Yeah.
It was after there were 3 different goodbyes. It was like medicated Pete on the phone. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
Yeah.
They were saying all these goodbyes back and forth. And then I went back and just isolated this one part. He doesn't even say Baba Booey.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I couldn't make it out.
Listen to this.
Cambodia.
What?
Cambodia.
Bob Boodia? That's not even a fucking prank. That's the worst executed prank I've ever heard in my life.
Good Lord.
He could have asked if his refrigerator was running and it would have been fucking funnier.
Absolutely.
Than saying, yeah, I was just wondering who you're going to appoint for our next Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. John, I got a bunch of people, or Bob, I got a bunch of people on the list. I'll make it clear to everyone in the next few days.
Ugh.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, that was painful.
I mean, Stuttering John had the ball and he
dropped.
This guy fucking dropped the ball on a perfect opportunity.
Oh my God.
Oh, King Ed Rock.
Oh.
All right. Well, that was it, man. That was what I wanted to cover.
Yeah. Wow, that sucked. I know that
that sure did suck.
The headline that I saw was like, comedian pranks president on Air Force One. I'm like, oh boy. And then I clicked the article and it's Stuttering John. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Fake Bob Menendez, real Stuttering John Melendez.
Did this comedian just prank the president?
Courtesy of the Stuttering John podcast.
I can't believe this.
All right. Welcome to the Stuttering John podcast. And that intro was put together by our engineer here, Don. Don, great job.
Thank you.
Holy shit. Fucking John. Can you just let it lay that you have like an intro with people talking about you? He's got to give credit to the fucking guy who put that together. It wasn't that impressive. And who starts out their show with people talking about them?
Who are these podcasts? They do a show about shows. It's hilarious. The show is hilarious.
All right, I guess some people do. So, John, this is the beginning of his victory lap. Right off the get-go, it's like, news is talking about me. And, God, the news all got this wrong.
It's the first time anybody's given a shit about talking about him in...
Ever.
20 years.
In ever. And it's funny because everyone got it wrong. Fake news. A comedian pranked President Trump. I'm missing out on where the comedy is in any of this.
Yeah, it's not funny.
This is him talking about a meeting he had after getting all this notoriety.
Royce and I were having breakfast with a television producer who's going to try and get this, a show of ours sold based on this call, which is amazing.
He had a meeting with a television producer who's going to try to build a show based on that call. What is it called? Boring Conversations with Celebrities? Like, what are we doing here? What is he going to talk to the fucking Secretary of State and ask them about foreign policy?
I'm going to call the mayor and complain about things that citizens complain about.
Mayor, there's a pothole on Route 31. Are you going to do something about this pothole, Mayor? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? How is he having a meeting with a television producer? I want to hear that conversation more than I want to hear his conversation with Trump, because that would actually be funny.
Oh, God.
You ever see Nathan For You? So then he tells
Take it
this...
down after Crank Yankers.
He tells this joke, and his co-host, whoever this guy is, I don't even know why they address this as a joke.
I know, but my ass is in jeopardy, and I mean that literally.
You made that joke at the breakfast table, and the elderly couple across the way shot you a look.
Does he know what the word literally means? No. My ass is in jeopardy? Literally? My ass is in jeopardy just means what it means. There are two different fucking meanings of that.
No.
And then the guy goes, man, you said that at that diner, and those fucking people shot you a look. How innocuous is that? My ass is in jeopardy? Like, whoa! Watch out for this guy. He's going to clear the room.
I got to tell that on the podcast.
I know, I got to reuse that
That's
joke.
Like Chip.
I got to tell that joke. So, we're literally talking about the fact that John did a boring fucking prank call that's already been on his podcast, and now he's putting on another podcast about that podcast to tell everyone how amazing he is. He talks about how every TV show wanted to talk to him.
And you and I going on the media tour, it was like every single show. It's crazy. And NBC, MSNBC, help me out, TMZ, what else?
Honestly, it's everywhere because there was countless radio shows you were doing in the car rides between the other studios. Several blogs.
that fucking went down quick. He goes, we were on every single show. He could think of two networks. NBC, MSNBC, and then he's like, TMZ. That's not every show.
Yeah.
That's not even most networks. That's a couple of networks.
I saw it scribbled on a bathroom wall.
Yeah, somebody fucking... Well, he gets into fucking tweets that he got about it, as if that's important. But he goes to, like, blogs wrote about it.
Blogs.
You know what Rappaport would say about that?
Well, it's 2018. You still hyped that you blog?
What the fuck are we talking about? He goes from, I was on TV, in the same sentence to blogs were talking about it. Okay. So he starts talking about Twitter and how people on Twitter were super stoked about this prank call.
First, let me just thank you, everybody, for the great response and all the support I've gotten from the Twitter sphere and from actual celebrities, and we'll talk later. Kathy Griffin called me.
Actual celebrities, and then he says Kathy Griffin. John, I thought you said actual celebrities. There's a disconnect there. Kathy Griffin?
Oh, yeah, whose career got ruined because she doesn't.
Well, that's the only person who would say,
right?
Because I guess John had Secret Service reach out to him, and anytime that you
don't call the
like
president
this,
anymore.
Yeah,
John.
a dummy. Yeah, it's the president. Stop it. John then proceeds to name drop all over the fucking place. And this is a compilation I put together of Stuttering John name dropping because he's so fucking amazing with his shitty podcast.
Ron Howard, Kathy Griffin, Bill O'Reilly, Mark Hamill, Elaine Boozler, Randy Mayhem Singer, Michael Avenatti himself, Ross the Intern, Rainn Wilson.
There was also a sliding scale. It went way down.
Way down.
Starting
Ross
with
the
Elaine
Intern.
Boozler.
I know. So he starts talking about Bill O'Reilly. Because, I don't know, I guess Bill O'Reilly gave him shit or something. And this is a great clip that demonstrates Stuttering John's amazing wit.
Yeah.
This guy just, I mean, his brain works differently than yours or mine.
Yeah.
He's just off the cuff. He's just fucking funny, man. He's so quick.
Well, first of all, Bill O'Reilly, who's, his account is Boar, which is what I think he is. So, Boar.com. I mean, didn't he think that BOR.com was going to, imply bore?
Awareness around the fact that when you say you have a podcast, it shuts everyone off.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to the next sentence coming out of your mouth. So there are times when I've been podcasting and I'll go to the bar and the bartender's like, oh, what have you been doing today? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
Because who wants to hear, oh, I was just doing my podcast?
Yeah.
That's the fucking worst thing you could say. This fucking dummy is like, guess what I did on my podcast? I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. Did you want a beer? What do you want?
You worked for free.
Yeah.
You listened to it.
Who gives a shit? And then he starts reading these tweets that he got from fucking nobody. So he goes through the celebrity thing, and that got done real quick. And then he starts just going through random tweets.
Birdie Maker writes, dude, that blew my mind. That was a Rolls Royce of phony phone calls.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, that's what we should,
Yeah.
We should have that on the Stuttering John podcast. The Rolls Royce of podcasts.
Home to the Rolls Royce of phony phone calls.
How is that interesting or funny? Why would you read that tweet? It wasn't a good phony phone call.
No.
By any means. By any standard.
Can't even touch Richard Christie's Tradio stuff.
Oh, my God. Richard Christie runs laps around this fucking guy when it comes to phony phone calls. And he's talking about a specific tweet he got from a nobody who said it was a good... I don't think this guy's ever gotten a positive tweet ever in his life, and he's blown away by it. All he gets is shit on Twitter, like most of us do.
Right.
So he goes, holy shit, somebody liked what I did on Twitter. I'm going to read that exact tweet. And then they're like, we should make that our fucking positioning statement. No! You're not the Rolls Royce of phony phone calls. And then he gets into this fucking conversation, which I don't even understand how to decode this.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. Because it's really not a phony phone call. It's kind of more of a prank call. But it still kind of takes the cake no matter what, right?
Andy, what's the difference between a phony phone call and a prank call?
Nothing?
I think nothing.
Yeah, but there's a difference between a phony phone call and a prank call and this call.
Yeah,
because
right.
A prank call is funny.
He just was pretending to be a senator and have a boring conversation with someone.
So dumb. It was so boring, and you're waiting for a payoff that never arrives.
It never arrives. And he had chances, too. He built him up. He's like, so I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about the Supreme Court justice? Like, wait, what? You had an opportunity to fucking, put a zinger in there.
Yeah.
And he even explains that his whole goal was to not have any jokes.
You know what? That's what, I get some people how dare you do that? And, I didn't do any jokes, which I wasn't planning on.
So in other words, this prank call is the same way that he plans for his show. No jokes.
Yeah.
There will be no jokes today. Even though we're reporting on this that a comedian got in touch with Donald Trump, no jokes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that at some point there needs to be a joke in order to be a comedian, right? At some point, something?
He should be embarrassed that he dropped the ball.
It's fucking embarrassing. And instead he's doing a victory lap.
Yeah.
As if what he did was the most amazing thing. And they keep talking about, like, you could go back and listen to the call. I mean, it's out there. It's on YouTube. It's on... Dude, I would have squashed that and just been like, I got in touch with the president. It was amazing. I can't believe I got through security. And never played the call.
Yeah.
Because it was garbage.
If you downplayed it, it would have been better.
He sounded like a fucking idiot.
Ugh.
Speaking of sounding like an idiot, this is why podcasts suck. Listen to this fucking dummy try to talk.
So then we do it, and then this is where
This came from the best debate in the universe episode that I did. This is Opie on the beach talking about how getting fired from Sirius blindsided him.
Not gonna lie to you, it was devastating. I was really, really bummed out, really, really depressed. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. After that happened, I was very, very surprised I was let go by Sirius XM. Extremely surprised.
Oh, he was very, very surprised. And then he says this.
And wow, did that come out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. And then on this show, he goes, the writing was on the wall. We were on our way out. That's why I didn't have guests anymore. Are you lying to me or Stuttering John?
Oh, 100% John. He's trying to dodge interacting with John as much as he can. I don't know why.
Maybe it has something to do with my clip 4.
Before I do that, though, I just have one more piece of my package here. Yeah. So Stuttering John makes up excuses. He gives Opie excuses for him. He says, yeah, I didn't know if maybe Howard said I couldn't come back to Sirius, or maybe because I did Anthony's show, and that's why he didn't want to have me back. And Opie goes, no. I mean, Howard, I'm way off his radar, and so are you. And Anthony doesn't talk to me, so no, that's, I don't care about that. And then I have a clip on why maybe he didn't ask him to be back on the show. This is how captivating John is as a guest.
And then
that's Stuttering John as a guest on a show. Joe, what do you got?
Good play clip 4.
All right.
And you still go by Opie, right?
Sort of, yeah.
Because it's Greg, it's Opie.
Well, he doesn't even know what to fucking call him.
I don't either, though.
They're such good friends. Maybe it's because you're an unfunny bore who doesn't know how to talk.
Yeah. He's not a get anymore.
No.
Stuttering John, you're not a famous person at this point. I want to just talk about, he mentions he wasn't asked to come back on the show. He's not sure why. Is it because I was on Anthony? And then Opie goes, why, did you talk shit about me on Anthony's show?
Yeah.
And this is two guys having a very comfortable conversation.
Did you trash me on Anthony's show?
No, I know.
All right. I'll ask you right to your face, because I don't.
No, not at all. In fact,
I'm not sure which one's the stutterer. There are so many clips that I have where Opie's stuttering more than John is. So Stuttering John has a book coming out. He's very excited about it. He's been promoting it for months. Yeah, he's been promoting it for months. And it's going to be this tell-all behind the scenes on Howard and Leno, and he's got all this stuff that's going to happen. Does everyone know who Stuttering John is? I have to explain this? I feel like I don't have to explain
we did
this.
an episode on him.
We've done a whole episode on him.
If you're listening to this
Howard.
show and you don't know who Stuttering John is, I don't have time for that.
All right, good. You hear that, Switzerland? We're not going to explain it. So this is him explaining that he's not sure when his book is coming out, and thankfully Jackie calls about this because this is a ridiculous thing when you've been promoting a book forever.
Anyway, on that note, my book is called Easy.
We were partying.
My book is called Easy for You to Say, and it'll be out sometime in October.
And your book is gonna.
Yeah, my book is mean and cutting.
Really?
No, wait a minute. What do you mean sometime in October? You got to have a publishing date.
Yeah. This was released on October 11th, this episode. And he goes, it's coming out sometime in October. And Jackie goes, whoa. You don't have a date for when your book comes out? How is that even fucking possible?
I know.
You don't have your shit together enough?
Yeah. Skip down to my clip 2. I called it Worst Sellers List.
So why is it getting delayed?
Because I was doing the audiobook and I noticed a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah. He can't even get out of his own way.
I can't talk and I can't write, so it's going to turn out great, I imagine.
So they're talking about this book that's supposed to come out, and yeah, you can pre-order it. You don't know when it's going to come out. Nobody knows. And Jackie says, well, you got to have a release party. That's how books work. And then there's a hilarious joke that ensues.
Amazon.com.
But you got to have a release party, John.
What?
A release party.
Let me know. I know some restaurant people.
Is this a legit book?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
With a real publisher and all?
I had a release this morning.
Be more funny.
Fucking thing sucks.
I had a release this morning.
That didn't even register as a joke to me.
We've never talked about Jackie the Joke Man on this show, I don't think. Can I just give my take on him real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Jackie was the head writer / comedian on the Howard Stern show in the 80s and 90s. Jackie does not write jokes. He steals other people's old jokes and then tells them on stage. He's not a joke writer. You guys know this, right?
I did not know that.
You didn't know that? All of his jokes are just other people's jokes. He's the worst kind of comedian. And he laughs at all of his jokes like it's the first time he's ever heard them.
That
I know about him.
He's insufferable is the best way to describe him.
Well, Jackie has his moments. I mean, as an old Howard Stern fan, I have a warm place in my heart for the guy, but he's not a talented comedian.
He's definitely the most tolerable person in this room.
Yes, well, yeah, because you don't hear Carl at all. Carl's not even on the show.
Okay, well,
for the most part.
Let's pull back just a little bit. We never got into like what sums this up.
I didn't.
There's
I got right
so
into
much
it.
to get to.
Shot out of a cannon today.
Play my clip 1. This sums up the whole thing for me. And this is Carl. This is Carl talking to John.
I got to be honest. I've told John every time at the party exactly what I do. This is the most he's ever looked at me in the face.
Oh, John.
Well, I'm sorry if I was mean to you, but...
No. Mean would have been good. You just fucking walked away from me 8 years in a row.
The guy making no connection. There's never this, you never know who could help you. You know, don't step on people on your way up because you never know who can help you on the way back down. John does not subscribe to that in any way, shape, or form.
This is way out of context. He's explaining that Carl Ruiz has met Stuttering John at Guy Fieri's party, like his Halloween party, 8 different times.
Right.
He's met the guy. Hey, John, by the way, Carl Ruiz, I'm on the Opie show. And Stuttering John just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So now they're in the studio together. He's like, hey, nice to meet you, Carl. And Carl's like, I've introduced myself to you 8 fucking times. And then this is the best part about this whole conversation is that the reason why Opie knows Carl is through Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri used to be on Opie's show all the time. Yeah. Opie still doesn't know how to pronounce his fucking name.
Yeah. I like to say Guy Fieri because I see an R in there. What?
It's Fieri.
But there's an R in his last name, right? Stuttering John.
Right, Stuttering John? Back me up on this. Like, Opie, you're just an idiot.
Fucking ridiculous. I can't. I don't know.
Who fucking cares?
When the show first starts off, Opie has this weird intro where he
that was my next thing.
Oh, is this your next thing?
I don't know. Yeah, but go for it.
Yeah, listen to this.
Live from the Westwood One Studios, it's the Opie Radio Podcast.
They recorded this 2 weeks ago and put it out in 2 different segments. What's live about that? It's the opposite of live. Opie used to be on the radio. That was live.
So
there's no such thing as a live podcast, is there?
That would be called a streaming show.
Right.
Is what we call that.
So one of the things that is insufferable about this show is the producer guy, Joe or whatever, that comes on.
Joey,
shits all over the engineering, the producers, anybody who's trying to make the show not suck. He comes on, he's like, well, this show's terrible because Mike and this other guy fucked it all. Not because Opie's a fucking idiot, but because everybody else is an incompetent fuckhead. So you've got this guy, Joe, and he's got a great radio voice. Why is Opie doing his own fucking intro?
I don't know.
What? Oh,
that's
it's
your
Opie
problem
radio.
with this?
Yeah.
I want to hear less of everybody.
Why is he doing?
I don't know. I didn't understand that. Do you have the same clip that I had?
No, it's that. It was that. That was my number 2. Yeah.
Since you brought up,
go ahead.
Since you brought up Joey, this is Joey in part 2. Again, we listened to 2.5 hours plus of this shit. So there's just so much to get to.
Yeah, I must have clipped this too.
I feel like we're all 3 of us are completely frazzled by how fucking ridiculous this show is. We don't know where to begin.
I can't figure it out.
Joe, get down off the bar.
Oh my God.
I know. All right, so this is Joey explaining that the engineer totally fucked up and didn't have Carl Ruiz's mic potted up.
Yeah, but first I need to address one thing, because I'm sure by now you can hear that Carl's mic is hardly being picked up at times. That's because Uber fan cop turned producer Mike Sappho isn't wearing any headphones, so he has no clue that the channel the Cuban's on is crapping out. He has no real reference point, so it's hit or miss moving forward. In cop lingo, it'd be like putting a blindfold on before shooting your gun.
I'm hurting too, Op.
Yeah, please, as long as you're firing that gun towards Opie and John and Jackie, then I'm fine with it.
What kind of morning zoo shit is that?
I had that same clip. I called that suck explanations. If you have to have somebody come on and explain.
Hey, by the way, the reason why this show is not funny is because the hosts aren't very talented.
You know.
All right, now back to the show, Opie.
The show sucks because Opie burned all the bridges, doesn't trust anyone, so he hired his friend who was a cop to be the audio engineer on a radio show. Why don't you hire a cop to fucking do your taxes next?
Slash bodyguard to protect him from all the people that hate him.
Guys, keep in mind, this is not an independent podcast. It sounds like it is. This is Westwood One. It's a corporation behind this fucking show. And at one point, I don't think I clipped this. At one point, they start talking about, hey, are you going to get a job back at Sirius XM? And Opie's going, well, Carl and I might go back on the radio. We have offers. Dude, you work for a company. You have a show.
Play my clip 9.
Do you have that?
Yep.
Okay.
He and the Cuban love Sirius XM.
One of the best places ever.
Why? Are you going to get a show back there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, we might go somewhere else. I don't know.
Well, hell,
we got
fucking, I could be third mic.
We might. We have an offer. We have an offer to go back to radio.
Stuttering job application. And you hear Opie sidestep that so fast. He's just like, I think we're just going to break up the show then.
Yeah, exactly. That's I had an offer. There's no offer. I'm not going anywhere. You just hear his car take off.
Yeah. I could be third mic. Speaking of third mic, you're saying Westwood One is a professional radio operation?
I thought so.
Or there's some professional?
I thought it was.
Play clip 3 for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't have to keep Jackie waiting if he wants to come in. I mean,
no, we're talking to you about your book and stuff.
No, I know. I don't
Why
want
would you do that to John? He's been in showbiz so long.
Because Jackie's going to think it's me. And
no. No, what they're doing is they're not telling you the truth. There's not an extra microphone.
Yeah, that's the problem too. He's gonna have to sit on your lap.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Look. Do the math.
Unless
this is a shithole. Do the math.
Yeah, we just started this.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
This place is a shit. These are the people that fucking gave you a job.
Yes.
This place is a shithole. There's only 3 mics.
It is surprising to me that they only had 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Which this is the very beginning of the show.
Stuttering John, what's up, buddy? We don't have a chair for you because we're just building this thing.
So they don't have a chair or a mic because they're just building this thing. These are all things you could just order all at once.
They also
building it
100% fucking know that there's going to be 4 of them in the studio today.
And this is great because they're keeping Jackie waiting.
Yeah.
And Jackie legitimately gets pissed off about it. This is him finally just walking in and just saying, fuck it, I'm not going to wait for someone to tell me to come on.
After an hour. They put on a show already.
Yeah, here's this.
Work.
Standing down there for a fucking half an hour.
Jackie.
5 times the cocksucking security guard said, why are you here? You can't stand there.
Jackie.
You can't be here.
Ask Mike. Ask Mike. I said, go get Jackie, and they said they only have 3 microphones.
So you got to sit in the Robin booth.
Loud enough? No, but the point is, don't fucking book me if you got 3 microphones.
They only have 3 microphones. That's not.
So don't book me.
Jack.
What an asshole.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
He's always, ever since back to Stern, when he was even on Stern, he's always been the guy that gets, he gets less respect than Rodney Dangerfield, according to him.
Well, I think
he's
that's
always,
true.
Demanding people respect him.
Right.
Why?
Right.
What have you ever done to earn
He doesn't command any respect.
You know?
Well, the funny thing about that is Opie is well known, this is well documented, that he would keep people waiting to come on the show, waiting in the green room as a power move. They'd have a really good comedian ready to come in, and Anthony and Jim would be like, "Yeah, let's have him in. We're just shooting the shit. Get this guy in here." And Opie would make him wait an hour because it was a fucking power move. It was the only control Opie had over the show. He wasn't funny. He wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
He couldn't steer the conversation because the comedians were all took it over. The only thing he could do was keep people waiting. And again,
what end though?
Well, right. To what end? Everyone hates him.
It makes the show worse.
Everyone hates his guts.
Yeah.
To that end.
Yeah.
So that was his power move. So now he's doing it again.
Yeah.
Now that he has a podcast, but it doesn't work anymore because it's just a shitty podcast I want to listen to. So Jackie's just like, listen, man, I'm just going to go home. Can I just come on the fucking show? It's not like he has the power anymore to keep people waiting. And this is legitimately Jackie pissed off.
Hey, Mike says, I'll meet you guys in the lobby at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm there 10 to 3, waiting.
Well,
3 o'clock, I'll be down in 5 minutes, and now it's 3:30.
I mean, you could hear it in his voice. Jackie's not doing a bit right there. So you told me to get here at 3. I got here early, and I'm fucking standing down there like an asshole. And you guys are talking to Stuttering Johnny to nobody. Bring me up. What's going on?
What the most interesting part of this, to me, is that Carl blows this up completely. Like, he's like, why are you doing this? Carl doesn't understand why Opie's even doing it. And he's like, why are you doing this to him?
Both John and Carl were saying, bring Jackie in now.
Yes.
Right. And he's like, no.
Right.
No, I want to talk to you, John. I want to find out about your book. I want to talk about the Trump call. Like,
right.
No.
And then, like, Opie's embarrassed that there's only 3 mics. He's clearly embarrassed by it.
Yes.
And Carl's like, he knows all about it. And so my question is, like, why does Carl blow up Opie's spot? Or is like, do they not have? And this is just like Carl must be just like he's had it with fucking Opie's bullshit.
Carl has integrity.
Right.
While he does laugh at Opie's stupid jokes, and he does continue to be the yes man that Opie needs around him, he also is a legit talent.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Ruiz is a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear it in these 2 shows. He doesn't talk at all.
Right.
But he doesn't put up with that kind of bullshit, and he does speak his own mind, which is nice.
Anytime we've done these segments, you can tell that Carl is the only shining light.
Oh, he'll get sick. He'll get sick of this soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a death pool for when Carl just fucking leaves the show, and now Opie's going, everybody fucking leaves me, man. Can we talk about the Opie conspiracy shit real quick?
Okay.
This is a very important thing for me, so you guys got to bear with me for a second. I have a package.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I have a package here. Stuttering John, very early on in the conversation, talks to Opie about when it was just you and Jim Norton, after Anthony was fired from Sirius. The show for 2 years was Opie and Jimmy. And Opie loves when someone has his side. He gets so excited.
You were talking to Jim, and Jim wouldn't give you anything.
Nothing.
You know, and it was like...
Thank you for noticing this, because you're a radio guy. You've done this a long time.
Yeah.
He purposely made sure he wouldn't laugh or go with anything I was doing. And I'm like, then what the fuck are you doing here, man?
Yeah, and I felt...
And then he had a plan. He had a plan, man.
Yeah, which was what? To get his own show?
To take over the show.
Checking. So Opie says Jim was sabotaging our show. I was on there and he was just tuned out because his whole goal was in a couple of years, he would just take over the show. All right. That's the conspiracy that he set up.
Right.
Couple more clips from Opie here. This is just after he says that he finds a way to compliment himself by talking through Carl. So this is Opie patting himself on the back.
But thank you for noticing that, because Carl's like, man, you seem like you're back to your old self again. I'm like, I am, because, we're doing stuff. We're enjoying it. We're laughing. We have chemistry.
Yeah.
I help Carl along. He's helping me along,
Yeah, even Carl said that, hey, I'm pretty funny. Right, Carl? Remember you said that I was funny? Remember that? All right, sorry. So after that, he then talks about how he knew he was saying funny things, and Jim Norton was giving him nothing. Again, remember, this is on purpose in order for Jim to take over the show.
But Jimmy would sit there stone-faced, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, I didn't know we were doing this, but this is good. I remember when you do a radio show, you know when something's funny. You know, like, that's funny. And I would think to myself, motherfucker, I know what I just said was funny. You're purposely not giving me shit.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that Opie's ever said anything that's funny? No. I've never heard it.
No.
What is he talking about?
So I have my clips.
Joe,
you got
I'm
more?
in the middle of a package.
Sorry.
This is a very important package.
Go.
This is going to be mind-blowing to people. Because I do the research that no one else is doing out there.
Yeah.
Opie goes on his show, calls Jim Norton a pussy. Do you remember that?
Yep.
He goes, Jim Norton's a pussy.
Yeah.
He should have left the show. He didn't want to be on a show with me. He sabotaged my show. He ended up taking my job in the morning slot. This is Jim Norton. This guy's a goofball. Yeah. He's not conspiring to take over Opie's job. So Jim Norton, on October 10th, was on the Mike O'Mara show.
Oh, yeah?
And addresses all of this, which is amazing. This is Jim addressing the fact that Opie called him a pussy.
As far as the thing with Opie, we have no relation. In fact, somebody hit me on Twitter. She says, Opie called me a pussy. Like, he called me a pussy, like, because I stayed with him instead of going with Anthony. When the reality was, when Anthony got fired, I was hoping Anthony would come back to the show. I was hoping he would come back on. But yeah, Opie was right. I just didn't enjoy working with him. He's not lying about that.
So Jim says, look I said on the show, that was my job. And it would be great if Anthony could come back. Remember, Anthony was fired over tweets.
Right.
He didn't do anything to Sirius. He didn't do anything on the air on Sirius.
He didn't film anyone taking a shit.
He didn't film anyone taking a shit in the bathroom at Sirius. He just tweeted things that Sirius decided to cut him loose. So Jim says, I was holding out hope that maybe we can get the band back together. And then he addresses this whole plotting against Opie.
But Opie acts like a victim, like everyone was out plotting to get him. He actually said, Jimmy wouldn't give me anything in studio, like laugh-wise. It's like, hey, stupid, if your jokes were funny, I would have laughed. Like, this idiot acts like I was sitting there plotting against him. It's like, that's just not how my mind works.
Yeah, that's a weird conspiracy to have. You have a specific stance on this. If you feel like you should make more money, prove it and go make more money.
Right.
That's how the world works. That's how the economy works.
Right.
So when Howard doesn't pay these people a lot of money and says, well, if you can go make more money, then go do it.
Go start your own show.
Jackie goes, okay, guess what? He's never made as much money as he did when he was at Howard Stern's show. So, he's lost a shit ton of money by leaving that show. So Howard was right. He didn't deserve that much.
Stay where you are. These guys have absolutely... John fucking is like, I started it as an intern there when I was 22. Right. Because Mitch Fatel, got him the job there.
Yes.
This is somebody who never had to work a fucking day in his life and got fucking skated by because he stutters. And he just fell into this fucking job.
No. You forget that he was getting A's in college. He would have been a celebrity either way.
Bullshit.
Listen to me, Artie.
So play my 10, and that's my last one. And
comment?
No, after. I got a lot to say.
When you left Howard, how much money were you making a year?
When $85,000 a year. I mean, it was.
$85,000 is a nice life, but I mean that's. Well, but consider it. No, but hold on.
Taxes are going to be taken out.
No, I understand all that, but
taxes are going to be. Fuck you. First of all, if you let's just. With inflation right now, just for everybody who's listeling right now, if you don't know,
this is early 2000s.
Yeah.
Right?
So 85,000 back then would be the equivalent of 131,000, 6 figures. You would have been making six-figure salary.
What are you, an economist?
I looked it up. I put it in a calculator, but I looked it up. But what people may not know. Yeah. If you work in radio or TV or anything, these are low-paying jobs, mostly because everybody wants to do it, and so it's a saturated market. And if you don't like the money, you leave. And there's a college kid who will slip right in and do the job that you're doing for
supply and
less
demand
money.
works. That's exactly right.
The job that John was doing on the Howard Stern show would have been the equivalent if you were doing it in a smaller market, $30,000.
Yeah.
There's
no joke, 1 million people who would take that job in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
If he's not there.
And he was making 6 figures, and it wasn't fucking good enough for him.
However, New York City 6 figures.
Yeah.
Which means his rent was $60,000 a year. So $85,000 is not impressive in New York City. I hear what you're saying.
I never begrudged him for leaving, though, because you're going to be Jay Leno's a fucking moron for ever picking him up as the announcer for the Tonight Show. That is absolutely ridiculous. I don't blame him for leaving. It's an incredible fucking opportunity for him. I didn't blame him for leaving. But to be bitching about the amount of money that you were making then, that guy, all you did was read other people's jokes to celebrities, and you think you should be making what? $500,000?
He was also a phone screener, like you said. Like, what was he doing?
People doing that job for nothing.
Right.
Yeah. People do that.
Wolfie is doing that now. I don't know if he's making any money.
College interns get school credit to do that. You were making $85,000.
Right. Fuck you, dude.
I'm with you on that. Let's talk about Opie for a second. We're not talking about Opie. We're talking about Stuttering John and Jackie too much. Opie does this thing, and I pointed this out before. He's terrible at a political conversation. He should just avoid it. He doesn't know anything about politics, and this is what I call Ope on politics.
Well, that's where I'm definitely different than your politics. I don't believe in either side. Yeah. I think they're all playing games and they're all full of shit.
Well, yeah.
Full of shit.
Dynamite drop-in money at broadcast school has really paid off.
So Opie has an amazing point of view.
That's great.
Oh, shit. All right. So I'm listening to Stuttering John's podcast. I'm one of the few people in the world who can say that they've done this. The last time I listened to his show was back in June with Kevin, when we reviewed his show, and it was just him, and he was going on and on about all of his accomplishments. This was back in June. It's now October. I'm listening to his show again. Holy shit! He's still fucking talking about it. It's unbelievable.
And I worked on The Tonight Show. I made it to the last day of Jay Leno's tenure, 10 years. I produced, the Stephanie Mills Show. I've worked in this business. I was head writer for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast.
He still can't say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He has not been working on that.
He cannot say that word. And this is interesting, too. Stuttering John considers himself a comedian.
He does?
Yes.
Oh.
He's a stand-up. And he tries to make a joke. He doesn't like Trump. He's a big anti-Trump guy.
Okay.
He tries to make a joke here about Trump.
And then he ripped Avenatti and Stormy Daniels and called Stormy Daniels a horse face. And if anybody knows, about horses, it's Donald Trump. He's a horse's ass. But could you believe?
Home run, call me a home run.
That sounded like a Bobo joke.
Yeah, exactly. The joke was not funny, but also terrible delivery because he's stuttering and he's stammering. Trump should know about who the horse is because... And then he has the fucking balls later on in the same episode to say this about Artie Lang.
Brian and Doug Goodstein both told me that they saw me and they saw Artie, and I blow Artie away. And I do. Artie can barely talk at this point. But,
You're calling out Artie Lang for not being able to talk? You stuttering retard?
Oh, man.
That's unbelievable.
That is ballsy.
That is ballsy. And then because Stuttering John is so hilarious, he has to read tweets that he put out that were hilarious to remind you how hilarious he is. This is him trolling the first lady.
What I tweeted, it was like, here, I said, hey, Melania, how's that anti-bullying campaign doing after your husband just called a woman a horse face? Really, what is Melania? She's got,
Good one. He's so uncomfortable when he ends his punchline. He has to immediately start talking again because he knows it landed flat. You notice that every single time because he's a horse's ass, but
I'm glad you listen to these so I don't have to.
Seriously, it's ridiculous. He talks about how his book is being delayed, which we covered on the last show that we did.
Yes.
I'm just gonna tell you a couple other things about this show. I don't want to get too deep into this, but it's funny because he's booked a book release party event thing.
Where?
Out in California.
Oh, okay.
He lives out in LA still, I think. So he booked this event, and this is very telling. They're talking about getting celebrities to come to it, and whoever the co-host is on the show speaks up and talks about how, I actually happened to see some of the DMs that were going back and forth with some of the celebrities that you asked.
I saw that you were talking to some people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Offline, on the DMs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing some of the responses people give you.
What? Like what?
I don't know if you want me to put people on blast, but it's just yeah, man, sorry, can't make it, ! And it's you sound way too excited about not being able to make it.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, okay, you said it.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt.
What a dick, Patton. Really, dude, come on.
Well, listen, at least he responded.
That's hilarious. So Patton Oswalt writes back, he goes, can't make it, dude. Big exclamation point. It's fuck you. I don't give a shit about Stuttering John. And Stuttering John goes, well, at least he responded. All the other celebrities that he reached out to, I'm sure he shook all of these people's hands when he was on The Tonight Show. They don't care about John.
No.
John's not a celebrity anymore. He's not important in any way.
No.
So he talks about why his book was delayed.
And, he and I, we had a lot of editing to do because we had to take some stuff out. The lawyers came back with stuff to take out. We had to change names. And then, when Guy removed one section, he accidentally removed the whole Trump phone call section.
Why would I want to buy this book? He's explaining, as he's promoting the book, the lawyers got it. We had to take all this shit out. I had to change people's names. Why would I possibly... But guess what part is in it? The Trump phone call. Holy fuck, I know about the Trump phone call. I've had people just say, you can just do Opie and Stuttering John and Rich Voss and Maddox. Yeah, we could just do these shows over and over. They keep putting out more content that is terrible. This is the beginning of Stuttering John calling out other people. He's calling out Tim Conway Jr. here.
But Tim Conway, you suck. You suck and you're a coward. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're not even a man. You're a cockroach. You're the piece of gum on the bottom of my shoe. You're the hemorrhoid on the tip of my asshole.
This banter wouldn't win in a schoolyard fight.
No.
Like, this is not good banter. He's not a roast master with this. Yeah, you're like a piece of gum on a shoe.
Carl, didn't he write for Greg
Fitzsimmons, but there is an arrogance about him, and I'll tell you this: when I was at the Tempe Improv, and I think I had Greg. In the beginning, I was just a host because I was just starting out. And Greg was the headliner. And Greg and I met Brian Regan for dinner.
Drop! All right, we get it. We get it, John. You say out with famous people. All right, this is more Greg bashing.
Greg Fitzsimmons, I swear to you, while we're having dinner, he goes, well, Brian, you and I are like the smart comics. You and I are the smart guys on stage. And I'm just sitting there, oh, really, Greg? So you're self-proclaiming yourself a smart comic. You did a joke. You did a whole bit about farting and the talcum powder on your balls fucking puffed up, and you're a smart highbrow comic. It was...
So John is upset.
He can't say words.
He can't say words.
He's upset because he's not included in this.
Right, like, how am I not a smart funny guy? He's talking about the fact that they're trying to get a radio show. And then listen to, as soon as he says that, how terrible he is at broadcasting. Who would ever hire this guy to be an on-mic personality?
Yeah, and plus we're trying to
control.
Plus we're trying to get a radio show,
right.
and Royce had a good point. You don't, even though Tim Conway is Tim Conway, eventually you're going to piss off their company, which is what is iHeart.
He's trying to get a radio show, and brought up a good point, and Tim Conway, and guess what? You failed the audition. You will never get a radio show, John. You suck at broadcasting. You're possibly the worst. And I listened to Opie. You're possibly the worst. This is the funniest thing about John is every time he does a guest spot on another person's show, he has to talk about what a great guest he was. But he doesn't just say, oh, I had a good spot. I was funny. I was compelling. He has to prove that he was funny by saying other people told him he was funny. This happens all the time. And here are a couple more examples of that.
And the producers couldn't have been nicer. They were all like, you were great. Even my friend Mike Schiff called me and said, John, that was brilliant. You were awesome. And nothing but good. The producer, emailed me after.
All right, this is my favorite clip. Later on, after he talks about how great he did on the show, he goes on about another show and how great he was.
And for Tim Conway Jr. to be that big of a coward after he knows I did a great appearance. And I'm not an egomaniac, but even when I did Frosty, Heidi, and Frank, I know I killed it. I think you would agree, Royce. I mean, I was getting laughs every 20 seconds.
It was a great appearance.
From Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. And I did, the Sid and Bernie show on WABC in New York. And they were very honest. They said, John, that was the funniest 35 minutes that we've ever done. I did a great job there. I'm a good guest.
And he likes to talk about anything that's going on in the Opie and Anthony universe. So Stuttering John's talking about him, and then we get brought up.
He's trying to get fame by goofing on me. It's like this other fucking site. Who are these podcasts? I hate to give them any fucking publicity.
See, it's working for them right now.
All they do is just goof on people's podcasts, but they love to goof on mine.
Right.
Saying it's a fucking train wreck. You know what, dude? We get way more downloads than you. Nope. We're a much better podcast than you.
Nope.
Shut the fuck up. And you know what? Don't hide behind who are these podcasts. Say your fucking name so I can mention them. And get my fucking trolls on you, you fucking douchebags.
So, John.
Slap-a-Rudy. I love this Slap-a-Rudy.
You want me to say my name? It's,
Carl!
I have to tell you, Stuttering John addresses us, says, who are these podcasts? Have been trolling us. He said that on his show that came out on Tuesday. I looked at our download numbers on Tuesday and Wednesday. they were lower than the previous Tuesday and Wednesday. His show has nothing going on. No one's listening to it. If I was on a show that people listen to, like the official podcast, where we saw our numbers go up quite a bit because people listen to that show, I would know it. Nobody's listening to Stuttering John's show. Program. He's been hired by a podcast network that doesn't exist yet. And he's announcing it with all this fanfare. Look at me! I'm going to be the host of a cannabis show on a network no one's ever heard of. Woohoo!
Fucking amazing.
And he's definitely the guy who should be talking about marijuana because he's synonymous. I mean, Stuttering John Melendez is synonymous with marijuana.
Yeah, but you're going to be like a brand ambassador talking about the positive side effects of cannabis.
Yeah, which is great because I like to dabble in weed, and when I was going to run to be senator, I'm all in favor of hemp, and
right.
I don't think we should be cutting down trees for any reason, especially not to make paper. So. I am an advocate of pot, so hopefully we'll have a lot of pot smoking guests on.
First of all, you were never going to be senator.
When I was going to run for senator, he said, what the fuck was that?
Stuttering John Melendez?
Oh my God.
What the fuck does he think?
And hopefully I'll have a lot of guests that are smoking weed. That's not a good recipe for talk show success.
No, it's not. Opie had Doug Benson on recently. That would be the best guest you could get on a weed show.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Maybe Woody Harrelson, but that's the best you could do on a weed show. It just goes way down.
Yeah.
From there. What did I miss?
The Trump call.
Oh fuck, the Trump, of course.
How can you miss
The Trump call. How did I forget that? That's his biggest claim to fame since being on the Tonight Show.
Clip 5.
Trump. I did the worst English accent, like Sean Moore. I say, who I go, Sean as in Connery, Moore as in Roger.
Oh my God, he tells it the same way every time, too.
As if I named myself.
So
Worst English
fucking
accent since
boring.
Lindsay Lohan in The Parent Trap. It's Trump. And I have a 5-minute conversation with Trump.
Oh, this guy's so boring.
And I'm like, I'm on the fucking phone with the president.
You know what's interesting?
I've hung out with Donald. I've had
Right.
lunch with Donald. I've had dinner with Donald. I've been on
right.
the phone with him numerous
All right, I'm going to take a
occasions.
guess at what the other one is. Is it possibly about him supposed to be on the Anthony Cumia show? Is there anything about Anthony Cumia or Opie on this?
No.
All right.
We'll just get through this now.
right.
The other thing, he relentlessly talks about money that he made or money that is owed to him. Just money. Like
Okay.
normally people who are successful
Yeah.
demur when the subject of money comes up.
Right.
Not John.
Not John.
Clip 4.
He made 6 figures when he worked for the Tonight Show. I know all about it.
I walked away with $120,000 from
Okay.
that. Plan. I got 2 pensions, millions of dollars a year, and I'm content with my motorcycle. I own my place. I mean, I'm $85,000. So, can I make $50,000? I was making $42,000. Since when do you give a shit about me? How much I'm getting paid?
The last clip is not part of the game. I could have, obviously, just play the clip. 6.
Great setup.
And, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Scott the engineer, a man who has worked for him for 30 years, loyal servant, the guy who supplied him with my audition tapes so that where I say, Cage and Pamela Anderson. I was mispronouncing.
Oh, they had a bleeding Nicolas Cage?
Maybe stop telling people that. Oh, I mispronounced it where I said the N-word.
Amazing. John explains that he went to a party and was very funny at the party. This is the part of Stuttering John that I love. I can't get enough of this. When he talks about how great he is and how funny he's been in certain situations, nobody talks like this.
So I go over there, and then we're hanging out, and I'm fucking making Chris, his nieces, his brother, all. I did like a 10, 15-minute stand-up routine, all improv and adding in jokes and talking about the Trump call, everything. They're all fucking laughing their ass off. And Chris, who's always said that it wasn't funny, was like, all right, you're funny. and then at the pub yesterday, him and Sandra, all right, I'm going to say before Sandra does, you were very funny at the party. So there you go. And then Sandra goes, yes, you were. So it was great.
Is that an awkward thing to say? Now,
okay, I am
point,
stone-faced right now.
Right. That's
because
crazy.
I'm going to tell you a couple of things.
All right, go on.
I work as a stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call myself a comedian. I take the work that I get, and I do my goddamn best.
You're very good at it.
I do not do material at parties, number one.
I'll improvise. I did a 10-minute set. I'll improvise. I had jokes.
Never see real comics. You will see comics have conversations and laugh, and maybe comics will throw bits at each other. But you will never see someone who is a real performer standing in the middle of a room trying to hold fucking court.
Right.
I can only imagine
It's awkward.
how uncomfortable.
Yes.
I think the people in the room were just as uncomfortable as you and I hearing that.
Uncomfortable laughter is what he got.
And they go, okay, John, you're really funny, John.
Yes.
Good stuff, John. Can you turn it off now, John? That's what happened. In his mind, I'm hysterical.
I know he's lying because I've listened to hours of his podcast now. He's never been funny once, and that's when he's trying to be funny. So I'm just going to say that it's possible that John... There's no way he was funny at a party. Let me play a couple of the
That's
jokes.
my new favorite drop.
I know, I like that. He's workshopping some material on this latest podcast that he has. Check this out, Vinny. You're going to love it.
It made me feel so secure. So, but then, but man, dude, I was sweating like Donald Trump at a Mexican Day parade. Hey-o. Oh my God, I was shaking like Sarah Palin at a spelling bee. Nope. I was shaking like a Michael J. Fox bobblehead. Now here's the thing: there have been no laughs.
What do you mean?
None.
And the last one, really confuses me. I was shaking like a Michael J. Fox bobblehead.
That's extra shaky.
It's extra shaky. Does the bobblehead have Parkinson's? What does that mean?
Oh, Christ.
It's a terrible joke. I mean, those jokes were all terrible. But I like that he says them as if it's going to get this uproarious laughter from the listener.
But you know what he's saying to himself in his head? Oh, they're losing it right now. I
They
got
are
him in
losing
the
their
palm
shit
of my
right now.
hand.
He also has to retell Twitter jokes that he put out. So he puts out things on Twitter and then thinks they're so funny that he has to retell them on his podcast.
And that's so funny, Fred, because, another Animal House, a reference, which is like my funniest comedy. I made a joke after Trump made his airports.
Let me pause that real quick. What? He says Animal House
references.
He goes, it's my funniest comedy. You mean it's the movie that you like? Okay, I got you. It's the movie you like.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? John, you stupid asshole.
You stupid fucking idiot.
I know that O&A back in the day relied heavily on the movie references, but they were just out of context, and that made them funny.
All right, so let me play the
Animal
rest of
House
this clip.
references.
Let me play the rest of this clip because he's got an amazing Animal House reference.
I quit.
So he's talking about, because I paused there in the middle so it might get weird. He's talking about how during July 4th, President Trump was talking about George Washington taking over all the airports. I don't know if you heard this. It's pretty stupid.
Right.
It's a pretty dumb thing to say. So, of course, John's got a hot take for that one.
I have later showing why I said, I don't think Trump said anything wrong. Especially after the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. Signed Senator John Blutowski. People go, Germans? Like they don't even get that I'm quoting Bluto from Animal House. They don't even get that.
I don't understand how that even connects to what he's trying to make fun of. He just pulls a reference that makes zero sense.
Do you remember the movie Animal House?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when John Belushi gives that big speech?
Yeah.
Where were we when the terrorists...
I know the reference he's talking about.
Right.
But it doesn't make any sense to the thing where Trump got something very wrong and he goes, I don't see what's wrong with that. It's like when the Germans... It's like, whoa. That has nothing to do with anything. You're just telling a joke from a movie.
I get the joke.
Clips from Stuttering John. This is amazing. They get to an ad read and listen to this ad read fail. This is impressive even for someone as stupid as John.
Should I read this new sponsor?
Yeah, we were supposed to do it a little earlier. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
Happy birthday, Julie.
You're fucking walking all over it. Why are you doing
our new sponsor? Happy birthday, Julie. From Tim.
Should I read this new sponsor?
Yeah, we were supposed to do it a little earlier. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Speedweed AD.
No. That's a note for use. A Speedweed ad.
Oh, the Speedweed ad. Okay, I thought that was the company. How the fuck do I know? How the fuck would I know? I thought that was the company.
Cringe of the week. Cringe of the week.
And this week's Cringe of the Week is a doozy. You're going to recognize this guy, and you're going to notice that he's talking about WATP. This is Stuttering John.
And podcasts. I don't want to mention these guys because there's another one, but I don't want to give them any credit because they get just like this other idiot. They get like anything, they crave at any mention of them. So I won't even mention them.
I paused it. I want to point out he's 100% accurate there. Or as you could say, exactly right. Yeah. He's 100%. I've totally changed the way I talk. He's 100% accurate right there. That we do crave attention. He didn't even mention our name, and I have the clip on my board ready to fucking play it. All right, here's the rest of his comment about WATP.
But they do, they've done a couple where they trash us, but that's because they know that they really don't have a show of their own, and they don't have any creativity, so they got to trash us because they're a bunch of losers, and they don't even post their names. It's just like a title of the show, and they don't post their names. I wish they would, so I could send the Melenders after them.
And here's him starting out, getting kind of salty that Carl is essentially on his show punching up. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how many listeners Stuttering John has. I can't imagine it being that many, but here's that.
There are people who are really, really, really punching up that are trying so hard to get a piece of this.
Like AJ.
To try and get a piece of this magic that we have. The John, Royce, and Frank show.
That's right.
They are trying. It's really, really sad in a way. Because if you're going to punch up to like Joe Rogan. He's got like 3 million fucking, downloads a day.
Yeah, we got our own problems.
Yeah. Like why? But
leave us alone. We're trying to punch up.
But so News and Blues at Star Wars _2020. I'm just going to mention this thing once.
All right, just once.
And then I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'll never mention it again. Will you ever confront who are these pod? They trash you on their last podcast, and they love Trump. Now.
So, okay, no credentials. Here we go.
This is a fucking podcast. All they do is analyze other people's podcasts, and they have no talent. Zero. They have no credential, no reason for anything, but they punch up at guys like me because they know they have nothing to say on their own. So they understand?
Oh, yeah.
So they punch up because then they'll get someone like this, News and Blues, who tweets me. So they can get some they get off by actually being mentioned.
Yeah, because they're listening to this right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he cries about how people call his podcast unlistenable after listening to it.
It is out there now on podcasts saying that my podcast is unlistenable. Now, how would you know my podcast is unlistenable unless you listen?
Hey, that's my move.
Thank you. I mean, and this guy, fucking this. I'm not even going to mention the name of that podcast again. But that's all they do. This is like the 5th show they've done goofing on my podcast.
Yeah.
So if it's that bad, why are you obsessed with it?
So John Melendez says, it seems they can't stop mentioning me, proving how great my podcast is. Please get me the names of their hosts so I can do research and annihilate them, Stuttering John style. FYI, I don't fight fair. I don't know what he thinks he's going to do with my full name. Either way,
he's going to call you and pretend that he's a congressman.
Oh, right.
It's going to be hilarious.
Carl, this is Chris Cuomo. You want to fight? You want to fight or something? I'll throw you down the stairs. It's funny that he says, they can't stop mentioning me, proving how great my podcast is. John, I want to point something out. I talk about podcasts that suck. It's all I do. I don't talk about the podcasts I like. I never bring them up. I never mention them. You don't hear me go on and on about No Agenda or Joe Rogan. I just talk about the podcasts that suck, and we talk about you a lot. So this argument makes zero sense. So Stuttering John talked about us yet again. He can't stop talking about us. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't listen to Stuttering John's podcast. Thankfully, there are people who do.
Okay.
And they just send me notes and let me know what time in the show he's talking about me so I can go and find it.
Yeah.
Because I would not know about this.
Right.
And John says this.
Like now, if you notice, more shows are mentioning us. Like
it's just us, by the way.
Right.
It's not more shows.
We're just
WATP.
Don't worry, John. As soon as Opie collapses, it's going to be you.
Yeah, right.
It seems like now everyone's going shit. We gotta, John's gaining some fame, so let's punch up and try and get him to mention us, to give us some steam. So I won't mention these idiots, but they just like nonstop trash this show, which is only just indicative that they listen every day. Do you know what I mean? And it's so sad that their whole life, there's about, I would say, what do you say, about 1 million podcasts at this point?
I mean, easily.
Yet this fucking one show, they trashed me and Opie.
So he starts off by saying, everyone's talking about me now. We got this show. It's so hot. Everyone's talking about me. And then he whittles down to, well, there's this one show that makes fun of me and Opie.
Like on a regular basis. Like the only podcast is that they fucking... Why? Because they know we have a lot of listeners.
No! That's the opposite of why. We also make fun of Seamus McKillian. The guy has 5 views on YouTube. He just happens to also suck. That's why. Okay, let's keep it moving.
And they want to get attention from me, which I won't give them.
What? You talk about this every episode now.
2 weeks in a row now.
So don't worry. I'm not going to fucking mention the Three Stooges. All right? That's what I'm calling them. The Three Stooges.
It's one stooge.
You know, these guys have no life. They're in the mom's basement. They got...
By the way, I just want to say, my mom lives with me.
Yeah.
It's not my mom's, it's my basement.
No money. But all they could do is listen to other podcasts. I mean, that's kind of lame. If you're a film critic, okay. You know, if you're a book critic, okay. I mean, you deserve some kind of journalistic accolades.
Why?
If you're a podcast critic, you are a loser. A loser. All right, so I wrote a little ditty here. Yeah, and I'm going to sing it, okay?
It's about Jack and Diane?
Nope. It's about Donald Trump, superstar. Okay, you guys all know Jesus Christ, superstar. Do you hear my guitar at all?
Fortunately.
That is not in tune, right?
Donald Trump, superstar. Do you think you're what you say you are? Donald Trump, big dickhead. You have a toadstool dick and your ass is the size of a shed.
What? You guys aren't laughing hysterically. What's wrong?
I don't want to step on this. 12-bar bridge.
Thank you. I was going to point out the same thing. When you're doing a song parody, you don't have to play the exact length of the song. It's go through the chord progression twice. That's fine, John. One time. Let's keep going. Keep it with the jokes, dummy. Every
time I look at you, I don't understand. What? Wait, hold on. Every time I look at you, I don't understand. Why you have such big ass and such tiny hands. Now you are president and you don't have a plan. And now you think of the king of the Jewish land. Now you think of the chosen one. Is that all you got? Meanwhile, your penis is the size of a balloon knot. I guess you thought they were airports in the Revolutionary War.
I'm so embarrassed.
You're boring as a fucking you're such a camera whore. Donald Trump. Orange Man, you know what they say about a guy with such tiny hands.
Yeah, I know. This is tough. It's almost done. I apologize. But listen to this fucking kiss ass he has on his show. Tell him how great this was afterwards. By the way, this is a train wreck.
No shit.
This is so terrible. It's terrible in every single way. It's uncomfortably terrible. Even if he had executed it properly, it's not funny in any way. There's no jokes. But he's executing it so terribly. All right, let's keep going.
Donald Trump, chosen one. Have you ever tried a hamburger without eating the bun? Thank you.
We're going to drive it home.
Thank you very much. Frank, it's radio. Nobody sees that lighter.
Thank you very much.
I like that. I like that last line there, too.
Thank you. First time performed live.
What the fuck? I'm a little bit bummed because this should be fun. Like our show is a roast. We're roasting other shows. We're like, oh, this sucks. You're not very good. And then they can roast us back. And I've oftentimes played people making fun of me on my show because I think it's funny. That's the whole point of this. Like we're all in this together. John is not having any fun with this anymore. He does not appreciate what we're doing over here. And here's evidence of that.
I also then spoke to Opie's producer. Opie from Opie and Anthony.
Yes, I've heard of him.
And we talked about this, about these certain idiots, and how they like trying to milk off of our success to like give themselves a name. But I'm not going to fucking gratify them by giving them any name. But then I just thought about it. Royce, they're playing pieces of this podcast. They don't have our permission for that. So I got a lawyer who's my friend. He'll send them a cease and desist. They shouldn't be allowed to play my song that I wrote.
All right, so John's not having fun with this. He wants to shut this whole thing down. And by the way, that recording that I just played where it's all lopsided on the right side, I didn't do that. His show just sucks. It sounds like garbage. So Stuttering John's on there saying, did you listen? I don't know if you listened to our show last week, but we played this parody song that John played live on his show and was so embarrassing. There's no talent there. He can't broadcast. He can't sing. He can't write funny jokes. His guitar playing was out of tune. So he's upset that we played his song. And he says, well, I'm going to get a lawyer involved in this. And then Royce, who's his sidekick on the show, thank God, is the voice of reason.
That doesn't bother me.
No, it bothers me.
Yeah, but we play stuff. I think that's fair game. I think that would also be fair use.
Wait, we play someone else's podcast?
No. We'll play clips from Howard's show.
But he plays clips from me.
No, I get it, but
that's different.
But under the laws of fair use, if they're talking about this show and playing a clip, that's okay.
I don't know.
That's fair use.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
So this is so funny because I was actually talking to Croge about this last night. We were laughing about this. He says they can't play clips of my show, and Royce goes, "No, they can. It's under the fair use clause of the Copyright Act." And he goes, we play Howard's show, and fucking dummy says, well, that's different. That's different. And he's right. It is different. Howard Stern's show is a subscriber-based show that's owned by SiriusXM, and you have to subscribe to it to hear it, and it's owned by somebody. So there could be copyright laws actually involved in that. Your show is on the internet for anyone to listen to anytime they want. Anyone can pull clips, put it up on YouTube. You don't have anything that you could do about that. You're putting it out there for free for everyone.
Right.
And then he's complaining that I'm pulling clips from it. Like, yeah, dummy, that's how this works.
Oh, man. You always seem to find yourself in some fucking bullshit here.
I do. I piss people off.
Yeah.
And the craziest part is, Stuttering John is famous because he's a notorious troll. The reason why he's famous is because he would go to red carpet events or he would break into press conferences and ask questions that got him assaulted. He would say things to celebrities that pissed them off so much they would assault him.
Yeah.
And now he's complaining that someone's making fun of him on the internet? Does he not know what world he's in?
It's a very weird thing because he would be the last guy, honestly, of the like kind of legacy Stern crew like that we grew up with, like Jackie and all those guys.
Yeah.
I feel like John would have been the last guy that would have not been able to sort of take a joke. Like he seemed like the one that was like down for the craziest shit. Like he would, do these crazy red carpet interviews and, got whatever, punched by fucking Morton Downey Jr. or whatever the fuck it was.
Right. That's why this is so funny.
Yeah. He was so like, so for him to be, I don't know, maybe it's a fucking, an age thing. Maybe he's gotten to the age where he's like, well, fuck it. I'm trying to, preserve what I have or whatever. But I don't know. I just thought he'd be cooler than it turns out that he has been.
It's an insecurity thing. He knows his show sucks. And so now he's getting mad that we're pointing it out. And he says this, which is the opposite of his essence, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think we could stick him with a cease and desist.
Well, you can stick anybody with a cease and desist.
Well, then that's what I want to do.
All right.
That's what I want to do because you know what? I don't give a fuck. They'll have to pay for a lawyer. I got mine for free, and that's the kind of guy I am because dude, I'm telling you, don't fuck with the Eagles if you don't know how to fly, and I will get you in the end. I guarantee it. I will get you in the end. Steve Grillo is doing a show and he's got my picture on it and he's talking about me and Anthony Comey, Chip Chipperson, man, That must be a good thing. If so many different shows are talking about this show, wouldn't you say so, Royce?
I would say so. If you don't know where you stand.
I mean, if it's nonstop every day, there's going to be a different person on your show trashing me.
Yeah, but okay, because now people are going to start speculating. It's not. I guarantee you, most people are going to think it's somebody who it's not.
Yeah, of course.
But the point is to bring up these people. Is again, it's giving them a free.
No, it's not who I know who you're thinking. No, it's not who.
No, I know who it is, but I know who people think it is.
Yeah, no, it's not who they think it is.
This got very meta.
Kevin, are you following this?
Wait a minute.
Are you following this
what the
conversation?
So who do they think it is? Do they think it's...
So John is talking about this person, but it's not who you think that he's talking about. But Royce knows who he's talking about, but maybe he doesn't because he goes, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. No, I know. Okay, but it's not that one. No, I know. It's the other one. Right. Yeah, I get it.
People just, because they're loving this podcast. They're loving this podcast. And that's why those other idiots go after me and Opie all the time, because Opie and I have successful podcasts.
Yeah.
No fucking way! Hi, Sarah. How are you? How are you, Sarah? Hi. Nudes and different sentences that he.
Sarah, I'm sorry about this.
Don't talk. Don't fucking talk.
Idiot.
Yes, Sarah. We're really sorry about this and sending him your way today. So don't worry. But yeah. So yeah, he's coming. Don't worry. He's coming home.
Elisa. She just almost broke my nose. She's gonna get arrested.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Fuck you, cunt. Next time you fucking touch me, I'll fucking dick you. You understand? You understand, cunt? Hey, no, Sarah, hang up. These idiots. She posted your fucking number in her cancer Discord, and I would just be polite.